Have you ever climbed into bed at night, and no matter how many blankets you use, your feet still feel ice cold? Or you go for a short walk, nothing extreme, and your legs feel heavy, tired, almost lifeless? Poor circulation does not just make your feet cold, it changes how your legs work. But here is what almost nobody tells you. One specific drink can restore the signal your blood vessels need to open again. Not with exercise, not with medication, with a drink. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly which one matters and why. Here is the key thing to understand. Your blood vessels are not broken, they are under-signaled. Certain natural drinks provide the compounds your body uses to restore nitric oxide signaling. This allows arteries to relax and blood to move into the legs more easily. That is the mechanism behind the warmth, the lighter feeling, and the improved control many people notice. I have ranked 3 science-backed drinks from weakest to strongest for leg circulation. 1 works gently and quickly. 1 targets the blood vessel wall directly. And the number 1 drink has been studied in women and shown to improve how the main artery in the leg functions. That is the difference between cold, numb feet and legs that finally feel alive again. And here is the part most people miss. There is one common bathroom habit that can block this entire process. If you are doing this, you can drink the right thing every day and still see nothing change. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why your circulation has not improved, even if you thought you were doing everything right. Let us start with number 3, which shows just how quickly blood vessels can respond when the right signal is finally restored. Number 3, hibiscus tea. If you have noticed cold feet, heavy legs, or a feeling that circulation is not what it used to be, this is often a sign that your blood vessels are not relaxing the way they should. Hibiscus tea helps here in a very gentle, intelligent way. It works through 2 natural pathways that support blood vessels instead of stressing them. First, it supports the production of nitric oxide. That is the molecule your body uses to signal blood vessels to open. Second, it acts as a natural ACE inhibitor. This means it gently reduces vascular tension in a way similar to some blood pressure medications, without being a drug. This dual action is what makes hibiscus especially interesting for women after menopause. Scientists wanted to see what actually happens inside the blood vessels when someone drinks hibiscus. Not weeks later, but immediately, in 2019, a study published in the journal Nutrients had participants consume hibiscus extract, while researchers measured how well their blood vessels opened. Open vessels let blood pass. Tight vessels slow it down. After hibiscus, vessels opened more easily. They reacted instead of resisting. This was measured using flow-mediated dilation, a test that shows how responsive blood vessels are when blood moves through them. That responsiveness matters most in the legs. They are far from the heart. And when vessels do not open, feet get cold and legs feel heavy. A larger review published on medRxiv in 2025 examined 18 hibiscus studies. Across them, systolic blood pressure dropped by an average of 7.5 points. Lower pressure means less resistance. Blood reaches the small vessels of the lower legs more easily. That is why hibiscus appears again and again in circulation research, not as a cure, but as steady support for how blood flow is supposed to work. And there is another reason hibiscus deserves a place on this list. Unlike fruit juices made from berries or cherries, hibiscus tea is calorie-free and contains no sugar. That makes it particularly suitable for long-term weight management and metabolic health after menopause, when even small glucose spikes can interfere with vascular function. In other words, it supports circulation without creating new problems elsewhere. But now, let us move to the next drink, one that works even when blood pressure is not the main issue. Number 2, pure cocoa. Flavanols that speak directly to blood vessels. If your legs still feel heavy even when your blood pressure is fine, or if stress seems to make everything worse, this points to a different problem. The inner lining of your blood vessels, called the endothelium, is not sending strong enough signals. Pure cocoa works right there. One of the most important studies on this topic is called the Flaviola Health Study. It was published in the British Journal of Nutrition in 2015. It was a double-blind study, meaning neither the participants nor the researchers knew who was receiving the cocoa flavanols and who was not. Researchers measured flow-mediated dilation and found a significant improvement compared to the control group. That is a meaningful change in how well blood vessels respond. Another study published in Scientific Reports in 2020 found that cocoa flavanols also improved blood flow to the brain and cognitive performance under stress. Stress changes how blood vessels behave, and especially after menopause, this reaction becomes stronger. Better brain blood flow under stress means the nervous system sends calmer signals to the rest of the body, and calmer signals help blood vessels respond instead of tightening. This makes cocoa flavanols particularly relevant for women whose circulation worsens during emotional or mental strain. Cocoa improves how vessels respond, especially under stress, but it does not supply the raw material those vessels need to open fully. So while hibiscus gently lowers tension, cocoa flavanols retrain the blood vessels to respond again, and the final drink does something different from both. It works even when circulation feels completely stuck. Number 1. Beetroot, nitrates that restore blood flow where it matters most. If your legs still feel cold, if walking tires you faster than it should, or if circulation feels stuck no matter what you try, this usually means the blood vessels do not have enough of the building block they need to open. That building block is called nitrate, and beetroot is its most well-studied natural source. In 2025, a study published in the American Journal of Physiology focused specifically on postmenopausal women. For 12 weeks, participants received a beetroot extract rich in nitrates. The researchers did not look at general circulation. They looked exactly where women feel the problem most: the artery in the upper thigh, called the femoral artery, and the small blood vessels in the lower leg. What they found was astonishing. The function of the femoral artery improved significantly. Blood flow in the lower leg improved as well, even at the level of the smallest vessels. At the same time, blood pressure decreased in the women taking the beetroot extract. This combination matters. That is why this shows up in the legs first, and why restoring flow here changes everything. By improving both arterial function and microcirculation, beetroot addresses circulation at its foundation, not just the surface symptoms. This is why many women noticed the difference here when nothing else worked. So if hibiscus calms and cocoa retrains, beetroot rebuilds the system's ability to deliver blood where it is needed most. And now there is one last thing you need to know, because even the best drink will not help if this one daily habit is blocking the process. It usually happens in the bathroom. Many women use strong antiseptic mouthwash every day, the kind that promises to kill all bacteria. What most people are not told is this: not all bacteria are bad. Some of them help your body use nitrates properly, the same compounds found in beetroot. When these helpful bacteria are wiped out, the nitric oxide pathway can slow down. The drink did not fail. The signal just never fully reached the blood vessels. If you use strong antiseptic mouthwash, avoid using it right around the time you have nitrate-rich foods or drinks. That is it. No extremes, no stress, just better timing. One important reminder: everything shared here is for educational purposes. It is not medical advice, and it does not replace care from your doctor. If you take medication, especially for blood pressure or circulation, talk to your doctor for advice and introduce changes slowly. These drinks are not about forcing your body to change. They are about removing obstacles and letting your circulation do what it is capable of again. You do not need to fix everything. Just remove the one obstacle holding your circulation back. Choose one drink. Start there.